Canada is famous for its breathtaking wilderness, towering mountain ranges, vast boreal forests, and pristine Arctic tundra. But beneath that stunning natural beauty lies a world that many locals prefer not to dwell on. A wild kingdom populated by some of the most powerful, unpredictable, and genuinely dangerous animals on the planet. From the frozen north to the prairie grasslands, from dense coastal rainforests to rocky river valleys, Canada is home to creatures that command absolute respect. Today, we count down the 15 most dangerous animals in Canada that locals tend to avoid talking about. Some of these might surprise you. Others will confirm your deepest wilderness fears. Either way, by the end of this journey, you will never look at the Canadian wild the same way again. So let us begin this countdown with the creature that stands above all others in raw, terrifying power. Number 15 on our list is the Massasauga rattlesnake, and do not let its relatively small size fool you. This snake, Ontario's only venomous reptile, is a master of concealment. Measuring typically between 50 and 70 centimeters in length, the Massasauga blends perfectly into rocky outcrops, marshes, and tall grass prairie habitats. Its venom is hemotoxic, meaning it destroys red blood cells and tissue. While fatalities are rare thanks to modern anti-venom, a bite left untreated can result in permanent tissue damage or limb loss. The Massasauga was listed as a threatened species in Canada, which means encounters happen in protected natural areas where people tend to let their guard down. Hikers near Georgian Bay, the Bruce Peninsula, and the Muskoka region have reported startling encounters. This snake does not strike unless provoked or accidentally stepped on, which is precisely what makes it so dangerous. It is invisible until it is too late. Number 14 brings us to the western rattlesnake, found primarily in the dry interior valleys of British Columbia, particularly around the Okanagan region. This species is the largest venomous snake in Canada, reaching lengths of up to 160 centimeters. Its venom is a powerful cocktail of hemotoxins and cytotoxins capable of causing severe swelling, internal bleeding, and necrosis. The western rattlesnake is more aggressive than its Massasauga cousin when it feels cornered or threatened. In years with warm summers, these snakes become more active and move closer to agricultural areas and hiking trails. Local ranchers and vineyard workers in the Okanagan Valley are quietly aware of the risk. The snake's rattling tail is its famous warning system, but in tall grass or rocky terrain, that warning can come a fraction of a second too late for an unsuspecting hiker. Number 13 is the prairie rattlesnake, which inhabits the shortgrass prairies of southern Alberta and Saskatchewan. This is the snake that old-time cattle ranchers in Alberta have passed down warnings about for generations. The prairie rattlesnake is quick to rattle and quick to strike when surprised. Its venom causes rapid tissue destruction and, in rare cases, systemic failure. These snakes are particularly active during summer evenings, when they hunt ground squirrels and mice around farmsteads and along dry creek beds. Because this species lives in agricultural heartland, encounters with farm workers, cattle dogs, and recreational horseback riders are not uncommon. Historically, before antivenoms were widely available, prairie rattlesnake bites on the open range could be a death sentence. Today, the risk of death has dropped considerably, but the pain of a bite remains one of the most excruciating experiences a person can endure. Number 12 on our list is the feral wild boar, an animal that most people do not even associate with Canada. Yet feral wild boar populations have exploded across the prairies and parkland regions of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta over the past 3 decades. Descended from escaped farm animals and deliberate introductions, these creatures are highly intelligent, incredibly adaptable, and extraordinarily dangerous when cornered or protecting young. An adult male feral boar can weigh well over 180 kilograms and is armed with razor-sharp tusks. They charge with explosive speed and have been known to seriously injure or kill livestock, pets, and even humans who stumble upon a sounder. Canadian wildlife officials have called feral wild boar one of the most ecologically damaging invasive species on the continent, rooting up crops, contaminating water sources, and spreading disease. Their numbers continue to grow, and so does the danger they represent. Number 11 is the muskox, an ancient creature that has roamed the Arctic tundra since the last ice age. These massive animals, covered in shaggy kiviot coats, look almost prehistoric, and in many ways they are. A full-grown muskox bull can weigh over 400 kilograms and stands nearly 1.5 meters at the shoulder. Their curved horns form a solid boss across the forehead, creating a natural battering ram. When threatened, muskox form a defensive circle, with adults facing outward and calves protected inside. But if a human gets too close, an individual muskox may charge with shocking speed. Visitors to the Northwest Territories and Nunavut who approach muskox for photographs have been seriously gored. Local Inuit communities understand these animals deeply and keep a respectful distance. Tourists, unfortunately, often do not, and the consequences can be catastrophic. Number 10 is the wood bison, North America's largest land animal, and a species that was brought back from the very edge of extinction. Wood bison bulls can weigh more than 900 kilograms and stand nearly 2 meters tall at the hump. Despite their enormous bulk, they can sprint at speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour. In Wood Buffalo National Park and surrounding areas of the Northwest Territories and northern Alberta, these animals roam in herds across open meadows and river floodplains. They appear calm, even docile, from a distance. But bison are unpredictable, and their massive size means a charge is almost impossible to survive without serious injury. Parks Canada repeatedly warns visitors not to approach bison on foot. The animals have gored tourists who ventured too close for a selfie. This is an animal that shaped entire Indigenous cultures over thousands of years. It demands the same respect today. Number 9 is the moose, Canada's iconic symbol and one of the most genuinely dangerous animals on the continent. A bull moose in rut is an entirely different creature from the gentle giant people imagine. Standing over 2 meters tall at the shoulder and weighing up to 700 kilograms, a charging moose can outrun a horse in dense bush. Cow moose with calves are notoriously aggressive and will not hesitate to charge humans, dogs, or vehicles. In fact, moose cause more human injuries in Canada each year than any bear species does. Collisions between moose and vehicles are common across northern Ontario, Quebec, British Columbia, and the Atlantic provinces, often resulting in fatalities for both the moose and the vehicle occupants. The animal's long legs mean the enormous body mass lands directly on the windshield in a collision. It is estimated that several thousand vehicle moose collisions occur across Canada every year. Number 8 is the coyote, a creature whose intelligence and adaptability have allowed it to thrive in every province and territory of Canada, including urban centers. Eastern coyotes, in particular, sometimes called coy wolves due to hybridization with wolves, are larger and bolder than their western counterparts. While coyote attacks on adults are extremely rare, attacks on children and small pets in suburban environments have increased dramatically over the past 2 decades. The death of a young child in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, in 2009 shocked the country and fundamentally changed how Canadians think about coyotes in populated areas. These animals lose their fear of humans remarkably quickly when fed, even accidentally, and a habituated coyote can become aggressive and territorial. Wildlife management agencies across Canada now run hazing programs to maintain coyote wariness. Still, as cities expand into coyote territory, conflicts continue to rise. Number 7 is the Canada lynx, a ghostly predator of the boreal forest that few people ever see, but many fear. With its massive padded paws, tufted ears, and cold golden eyes, The Canada lynx is built for deep snow and dense timber. While typically shy and reclusive, a cornered lynx is extraordinarily dangerous. Their claws and teeth are purpose-built for taking down snowshoe hares, but these weapons are more than capable of causing severe lacerations on a human limb. There are documented cases of habituated lynx in areas near remote communities, becoming bold enough to stalk humans. In Yukon and northern British Columbia, locals report that hearing a lynx scream in the dark is one of the most unsettling sounds in the wilderness. It sounds, many say, disturbingly like a human in distress, a chilling reminder that this forest belongs to something older and wilder than us. Number 6 is the eastern wolf, a species now recognized as genetically distinct from both the gray wolf and the coyote. Found primarily in Algonquin Provincial Park and surrounding regions of Ontario and Quebec. The eastern wolf lives in family packs and maintains territories across vast forested landscapes. Though attacks on humans are extraordinarily rare, the eastern wolf's expanding range and increasing interaction with human settlements make it a species to watch carefully. In areas where prey populations fluctuate and winter is harsh, eastern wolf packs have been known to approach farms, taking livestock and sometimes confronting humans who intervene. Conservation status has complicated management responses, leaving rural communities feeling vulnerable. The eastern wolf is a keystone predator that keeps ecosystems balanced, but that does not make a face-to-face encounter in the deep forest any less terrifying. Number 5 is the gray wolf, the apex predator of the Canadian wilderness, found from the boreal forests of Ontario to the mountains of British Columbia and across the great expanses of the Yukon and Northwest Territories. Gray wolves in Canada are larger than their American counterparts, with some northern individuals weighing over 80 kilograms. Pack dynamics allow wolves to take down prey far larger than themselves, including moose, elk, and bison. While wolf attacks on humans are historically rare, they are not unheard of. A young man was fatally attacked by wolves near Point's North Landing in northern Saskatchewan in 2010, making international headlines. Local communities in wolf country develop a cultural awareness of these animals that outsiders often dismiss. Wolves are most dangerous when habituated to humans, desperate from starvation, or protecting a fresh kill site in dense brush. Number 4 is the cougar, known by many names including mountain lion, puma, and panther. In Canada, cougars are found primarily in British Columbia and Alberta, though confirmed sightings have occurred as far east as Ontario and Quebec. The cougar is a true ambush predator, capable of leaping over 6 meters horizontally and crushing a prey animal's skull with a single bite. Cougars are methodical hunters who may stalk a human for extended distances before deciding whether to attack. Children and solo joggers in cougar territory represent particularly vulnerable targets. Attacks in British Columbia's Vancouver Island region have become more frequent over the past 3 decades, as deer populations draw cougars closer to residential areas. Wildlife experts consistently advise never to run from a cougar. Running triggers the predatory instinct. Maintaining eye contact, appearing large, and fighting back aggressively if attacked are the only strategies that consistently save lives. Number 3 is the American black bear, a species so widespread across Canada that most provinces have substantial populations. While often portrayed as a nuisance animal that raids campsite coolers and overturns garbage cans, black bears are responsible for fatal attacks that shock communities every few years. Unlike grizzly bears, black bears that attack humans are most often predatory rather than defensive. They are hunting. This makes a black bear attack particularly horrifying because fighting back is the correct response, yet the bear is often initiating the encounter with lethal intent. A black bear in good physical condition can weigh over 200 kilograms and move with frightening speed through dense forest. In remote areas of Ontario, Quebec, British Columbia, and northern Canada. Solo hikers and hunters have been fatally mauled. Locals in bear country develop a constant background awareness that tourists simply do not possess. And that difference in awareness can be the difference between life and death. Number 2 on our list is the grizzly bear, possibly the most iconic, dangerous animal in the Canadian imagination. Found across British Columbia, Alberta, the Yukon, and the Northwest Territories. The grizzly bear is a symbol of raw wilderness power. A large male grizzly can weigh over 360 kilograms and possess enough strength to drag a full-grown moose carcass up a steep mountain slope. Grizzlies have a pronounced shoulder hump of pure muscle, and their front claws can reach lengths of 10 centimeters, longer than a human finger. Defensive attacks occur when a grizzly feels surprised or is protecting cubs or a food cache. In these situations, playing dead can be the right response. But a predatory grizzly attack at night or in remote terrain is a nightmare scenario where fighting back is essential. Parks Canada records dozens of grizzly encounters annually in Banff and Jasper National Parks, and the number of serious incidents has increased as bear populations recover. And at number 1, the undisputed most dangerous animal in Canada, the polar bear. Found along the Hudson Bay coastline, the shores of Nunavut, and the sea ice of the high Arctic. The polar bear is the only large land predator on Earth that actively hunts humans as prey. There is no ambiguity here. A polar bear is not attacking you out of surprise or self-defense. It sees you as food. A fully grown male polar bear can weigh over 700 kilograms and measure more than 3 meters in length. They can run at speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour on ice and swim enormous distances in freezing water. The town of Churchill, Manitoba holds the title of the polar bear capital of the world. And every autumn, when bears gather near the coast, the community implements strict protocols that treat the situation as a genuine public safety emergency. Locals carry flare guns, and a dedicated polar bear alert patrol operates around the clock. The bears have broken into homes, charged snowmobiles, and stalked residents. In 2013, a polar bear attacked and seriously injured a camper in Nunavut. This animal is not a zoo exhibit. It is the apex predator of the Arctic, and it has no fear of humanity whatsoever. So there you have it, the 15 most dangerous animals in Canada that locals know to respect, fear, and rarely discuss casually with outsiders. From the hidden venom of the Massasauga rattlesnake to the terrifying predatory intelligence of the polar bear, Canada's wilderness harbors creatures of extraordinary power and danger. The lesson is not to avoid the outdoors. Canada's natural world is one of the greatest treasures on Earth. The lesson is to enter it with knowledge, respect, and humility. These animals are not monsters. They are ancient, perfectly evolved survivors of some of the harshest environments on the planet. We are the visitors. They were here first. Always remember that, and the wilderness will reward you with experiences beyond imagination. Stay safe, stay informed, and never underestimate the wild.